I'm not sure if your Facebook experience this morning has been slightly different. You might check, Channel 9 News or 7 News Melbourne on Facebook, and as you'll notice, there's no posts there. Facebook has made a decision to not allow these news sites, and unfortunately other very important sites like Queensland Health and others, to not allow them to post. And this all goes based on a decision by the Australian government that's going to force Facebook to pay some of their profits to these news sites because they are drawing customers to Facebook. And of course Facebook has said we're not going to be prepared to do that. Now, I don't have really any insight into this other than to see this whole discussion and this whole debacle, if you like, is all over money. These companies are worth billions of dollars, and yet they're not prepared to share, and they're going to cut others off. And I find this is in strong contrast to something which I read this morning about our parish and Parsha Terumah. The Torah tells us there were 13 materials donated to the construction of the Mishkan, the tabernacle. One of those items was the shoham stone, and if you look at the order in which the Torah lists the materials, the shoham comes at the end, or the second last. And the commentators say this was one of the most expensive items of the raw materials. Why would the Torah place it last? Now, sages answer that in fact the shoham didn't require any effort. Apparently it came through the clouds or through rain. I don't know exactly the process, but it didn't require any effort from the Jewish people to source that raw material. And I think the Torah was teaching us a very important, very profound, and very crucial lesson in life, and that was that in life, and certainly from a spiritual perspective, certainly from God's eyes, what is valuable in Hashem's eyes is not necessarily the end product. You don't have to have studied the entire Talmud. Sometimes people get so overwhelmed and think, well, I don't even know how to read Hebrew. How can I ever achieve reaching the Talmud or completing a tractate of this or Mishnah and so on? But Hashem is telling us, if you do more today than you did yesterday, that is precious. That is what is valuable, not how much it's worth on the stock market. And of course, when we look at life in this way, each of us can value ourselves in a whole different perspective, because it's about what you put in, one day at a time, one step at a time. As long as you're putting in that effort, and the Torah valued effort, not share price. The Torah said, I don't care how much the shoham stone was worth. I care about what took effort from the Jewish people. What did they put in? What did they have to struggle towards? And I think if we could recognize that that is what true success is, that is what true value is in our lives, in our spiritual pursuits, and in fact, even in the material world around us. Don't worry about your bank balance. Of course, we all want to have parnassah, a livelihood, to be able to buy things, but ultimately, what is truly valuable is the things that you invest in, the things that you put effort into, things that you give time towards. And hopefully we can put that in the right direction. So whatever happens with Facebook and all these things, who knows, we'll see. But if we understand what God values as valuable, as what God values as success, it will certainly lead us in the right direction. Wishing you a wonderful weekend ahead, a Shabbat Shalom, and a beautiful day.